the good life.
Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. Another big exciting day in my kitchen. What are we making? Where are we going? First thing, we're listening to some Sinatra, and I got it playing right here in my Sonos system. And I'll tell you, whatever I'm making today will always come out better with the sounds of Frank Sinatra. Album Swingin' Affair, great album. You can substitute Dino if you want. I don't think I'd risk it if I were you. I'm just saying, okay? Today we're gonna make fried onion rings. So where we're going today is we're going to Grandma's Kitchen right here at Boreo's Restaurant in Cicero, New York. And I used to make onion rings with my grandma. And we're gonna take what Grandma used to make, we're gonna kick it up a notch. Cipolla frittata, which is basically fried onion rings, okay, or fried onion. And this is great, it's delicious, it's fun, it's easy, it goes quick. All right, so we're gonna do a two-part, well, three-part, I guess, if your kids sit, well, four-part, because you got to include eating. But we're going to do a couple of parts here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make a batter that's going to stick to the onion ring, right, the raw onion, and then we're going to bread it with a breading and a lot of flavor. I mean, something that's really going to kick it. And then we're going to deep fry it, and then we're going to eat it. Okay, so let me go over the ingredients. First, center stage, the big kahuna, the big show. We got onions. So I got 3 Spanish golden onions. They're good. I like them. They got a little extra kick to it. Then what I want to do is I want to make that batter. So the batter is going to be made with about a half of a cup, give or take, about a half of a cup of chicken stock. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, not soda, baking powder. I've got about 3/4 of a cup, a little heavy, of flour. Now I use non-enriched, non-bleached flour, organic, great stuff, okay? I've got 1 locally raised chicken egg, okay? Well, the chicken egg wasn't raised, but the chicken that laid the egg was raised. Which came first? It's a whole nother story. We'll talk about it later, okay? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some alcohol in the batter, if you will. Now, you can use wine. I like to use grappa because it's got a little higher alcohol content. If you have some inversion alcohol, though the alcohol is going to burn away, you could certainly use like a club soda, something like that. Okay, that's totally fine. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to create something that's going to bubble. So as it bubbles, as the alcohol actually starts to bubble in there and bubble away, it actually increases the surface area, adds to texture, crunch. That's what we want. So it'll add to the flavor. Obviously salt, obviously pepper, okay? Then we want to bread them. So we're going to use 2 cups of non-flavored breadcrumbs, okay? And then we're going to use 1 cup of cornmeal and 1 cup of cornstarch. We're going to mix that together. That's going to give it really good crunchy, okay? I've got a half of a teaspoon of thyme. Oh, thyme just goes good with everything, doesn't it? And it'll marry nice with that chicken stock. I've got a half of a teaspoon of garlic powder. I've got a half of a teaspoon of paprika. Woohoo! That'll get you going. And then I got about 3/4 of a cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. I know. It's awesome. I gotcha. I'm with you. We're going to be eating these in a couple of minutes, okay? Now, in order to fry them, you can use a lot of different oils. I got Trader Joe's sunflower. I love sunflower oil. It cooks really good at a high temp. Same as peanut oil. It has very little flavor at all. Doesn't come off oily, so that's a good way to go to fry these, okay? I did talk about pepper. Always try to do the freshly ground pepper if you can do it. We've got pink Himalayan, because it's sexy. Some pink Himalayan salt. Don't ask me where it comes from. Obviously, we've got some olive oil. We'll probably put a splash in my batter. Why Vito and Joe's? Why would you put a splash in that? Because it's a good stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I got a farm in Italy. We make our own olive oil. It is from the Puglia region, just above the heel. Grassy, earthy, peppery. Probably the best olive oil you'll ever have. It's certainly a trip to Italy right in a bottle. That's my catchphrase. I came up with it. I know, it's good. And you guys can go right on our Facebook page, Cooking Italian with Joe, our webpage, Cooking Italian with Joe, or you can go right on Amazon, punch in Vito and Joe's olive oil, my 2 boys, boom, we'll drop ship it right to your house. All right, it's onion time, cipolla. So we're gonna start cutting these onions up. I wanna show you exactly how to do this so they come out just perfect. First, you're gonna need a sharp knife. I'm just kidding, I'm only kidding, don't worry about it, it's just a joke. All right, so you're gonna cut the top of that onion off, the bottom of the onion off, okay? And then what I like to do is you just take a little, just a teeny weeny little slice across that outside, okay? Because we want to keep them in rings, right? Then you're gonna peel it. Onions peeled, ready to go. So we wanna go about 1/4 inch, thereabouts. Try to keep them as uniform as you can because you want them all to cook well and the same. Oh, perfect, okay? Then you're gonna grab a bowl, right? And you're gonna make rings. Do I need to show you that? That you need to make rings out of them? So you gotta break them apart individually. And you're gonna make some rings. Isn't that beautiful? All right. All right, so let me get going on this. Talk to you in a minute. Okay. The onions are done. I'm just kidding. I'll tell you, if you put wasn't it awful? I can cut that out if you want. Put these things in a refrigerator, your onions, Chipotle, before you cut them, it helps out so you don't get all the gas, you know, sulfur gas, okay? So onion rings are ready to go. I'm gonna set those aside. Boom. All right, batter time. We're gonna start with our egg first. Pop that in there. Whoa. Give that a whisk. Make sure I always do the egg first, no shells. Everything's good to go. And then I'm gonna do my chicken stock. And then I'm gonna do my flour. And then I'm gonna do my baking powder. Season your layers. So I'm gonna put a little salt in there. I'm gonna put some pepper in there. Splash of olive oil, Vito and Joe's. Did I plug that yet? Now it's time for a splash of grappa. Woo-hoo-hoo. So just a splash. Again, that's gonna create some bubbles. Beautiful. Maybe a little more. Anybody looking? Anybody looking? Don't go worry about the alcohol, it's gonna burn off. Except for the stuff you drink while you're doing the show. That will not burn off. I'm only kidding, I didn't do that. So that's perfect. I'm gonna give it a stir and I'm gonna let that set. That'll actually thicken here over another minute or two as the flour gets hydrated. Time to make the breadcrumbs. So I got a nice dish. We're gonna mix everything in while you're watching the show here. I don't know if you guys noticed this little thing right here. Okay, Sicilian torrone. Hey, how you doing? For Thanksgiving, that's gonna be good. All right, that's for Papa. So I'm gonna take my 2 cups of breadcrumbs, unflavored. So fill that up. Cup of cornmeal, cup of cornstarch, half a teaspoon of thyme, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of paprika. Hey, you doing? Hey, hey, hey. Freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Parmigiano Reggiano. And then you're just gonna take a fork and you're gonna stir that up. Okay, so that's gonna be our final breadcrumb after we put it in the batter, okay? Now we're gonna wanna do some salt because you wanna season your layers, and you're gonna do some pepper. Give it a good stir. Time to start frying up some onions. Easy, fun, fast. I'll tell you, one of the great tips to make sure these onion rings come out great is if you subscribe to our channel. So there's a red button right down in the corner. You click that button. What you do is you get like notifications of any new recipes. I go to Italy all the time. Any trips, any travel tips. You know what I'm saying? Like to have you part of the family, okay? So subscribe to our channel. Now what I did is I got my onions. I got my batter. Remember I told you this would thicken up, so see how that's thicker? Oh, it could not be more perfect. I got my breading right here. So I want to do it quick. I want to get my onion ring in the batter, then breadcrumb it, then get it in the hot oil. I've got the sunflower oil going. I'm going to get it right around 350 degrees. And I'm going to do like 4 to 6 at a time is all I'm going to do, right? That way you keep the oil at a perfect temperature, everything goes perfect. I got my salt, pink Himalayan. Sexy. I got it right over here. That way when they come out, I'm gonna hit it with a little salt. Get some forks, one for your dry, one for your wet. You're gonna grab your onion, throw it in there, wet. Now watch, see how that sticks perfect? Oh, see how that perfectly coats it? That's what we want, okay? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop it right in the breadcrumbs, right? And then you're gonna hit it with some breadcrumbs, okay? Just get it covered. Give it a good push with your hand. You're gonna put it right in your hot oil. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Oh, that looks good, doesn't it? Pop it on the rack. Hit it with a teeny bit of salt. Oh, there you go. Okay, you got one done. 47,000 left to do. I'll talk to you guys in a week. No, I'll talk to you guys in a couple minutes, all right? Moment of truth. Oh my God, that smells good. I'm gonna grab that puppy right there. See, look at that. It's crispy. It's been about 15 minutes. Look at that, it's still perfectly crispy. I put a little parsley on there. Or you can smell the cheese, a little bit of the thyme, a little bit of the garlic. This is tutto familia, okay? Oh yeah. And right away you get the flavor of the thyme, the garlic, the onion just comes right up in the background. Oh boy. Molto delicioso. Let me do one more. Just one more before the kids come in. And then you get that cheese, the Parmesan cheese just coming back. And it's got the crunch and the flavor all the way through, right through the onion. That recipe will get them in the kitchen, no doubt about it. Guys, thanks so much for joining me for a phenomenal recipe. Don't forget, shut off the electronics, shut off the cell phone, shut off the computer, the television, get the kids in the kitchen, make a mess, have some fun, celebrate that heritage, set some traditions and memories that'll last a generation to a generation. Right down there, click that subscribe button. Like to have you part of the family, you know what I'm saying? And last but not least, online you can grab yourself a trip to Italy right in a bottle of Vito and Joe's olive oil. You can get it right on Amazon, punch in Vito and Joe's, or on our website, Cooking Italian with Joe, or right on our Facebook, either Vito or Joe's or Cooking Italian with Joe. I'd love to celebrate something that I love with you guys, no doubt about it. Until next week, buon appetito.
A good life, full of fun, seems